Hey, this is Main Art. Thanks for checking out my video. Today, I want to see if we can do a phantom character. So I am just gonna come in here with the pastel and just try to get a really loose kind of body, strange looking type figure that we can work off of from there. So you can see I'm just really doing a very loose outline. That's always important, especially for what I like at first. Just gives it some texture, a few different areas, kind of gives you your shape. Um, and it's very, no, very, very loose. Just gives us a starting point. Um, Perhaps we'll just see if there would get an arm in there or something. So it's just really, really loose. So as once we like our shape, our figure, now we can really start coming in and start giving it some dimension, some color. So I'm gonna just go in with the black charcoal and see if we can start to really give this creature, this thing, bring it to life here. So let's just say like that might be somewhere in the face area. This would be working into almost like this robe like, perhaps, yes, almost snake like robe, or yeah, who knows what we want to call it. Just part of this kind of apparition. And this is very loose, like I was saying. This just kind of gives us some area. Okay, so we have a very, very rough outline there. From here, what we can do is start thinking about different colors or shades, dark, some areas dark, some light. I'm just gonna start adding some areas that could be darker. Just using the quick blend. And all this is doing right now is just accentuating a few areas that might be dark in the flow, or whatever this entity is gonna be. Let's see. So we've started adding some shadows, giving it some texture. So that's always a good step. And for this, you just best thing here is just really just want to have fun with it. Get in the pastel, blend areas where you can, and just really see where the picture, the drawing is gonna go. Even so, really starts to build in some of those textures. Another thing too, I like, you just turn it on the side and you almost get that dotted kind of shading, which is a neat effect too. So if you like charcoal, pastel, different drawings, I invite you to check out some of my other videos as well. Doing a lot of different things, primarily like the horror genre, some pirate stuff, Yeah. All right. So we start to get an interesting feel here. Just darken up some areas. And this is just all with the one color that we're using. Okay, so we're at this point. Just gonna get some of our lines down here a little darker. Okay. Some texture up here in the top. Swing around this side. So we don't know at this point what our face is going to be. So we could probably do a few different things in there, um, depending what we want. But just kind of take a quick look. We do some light shapes here. See if anything jumps out to us. Almost see it like snake-like. Could be kind of cool. Could definitely be something different. So from here, I think we'll get in with our charcoal and see if we can add some details in here. I'm gonna just really just start working in some weird shapes. See where it takes us. Dark some areas. Start giving it some dimension. Okay, so we have this interesting looking face here. From here, let's see what else we can do in this situation. I'm gonna exaggerate some of this a little bit. Pull this down. We could leave it at this point. Let's see if we just kind of come in really faint. So not too crazy here, just very, very faint. See what that might give us. Nice, just light shadow, light shadow. Then we go in, go with a little bit darker. So there's a few different dimensions happening in here. Same thing down here. Let's see if I'm just gonna do some really loose highs and lows. See what that gives us. Just a texture. So yeah, definitely starting to look a little bit creepier. And then perhaps we can even do something a little bit different. Yeah. So we started it. So I'm gonna just start going over some of these the robe and the flow action with the black charcoal, and this will start to give us some more dimension. This is just going a little fast, but just showing where we can do a side, kind of a side technique, side shading right off the end of the object. Give that a little point. Yeah, so you can see it, right? Get these corners with the dark, starts to give them even further dimension, but then we loosen it, we just lighten it up a little bit. All right. So it's really starting to get creepy. And then I'm even on this side really start pushing that out a little bit, kind of some dots, some cuts. So just working in the folds of the robe or what have you. So the charcoal here could definitely be a really powerful for those shadow areas. All right, so I'm just gonna get some more darks in here. So yeah, I can start really getting creepy. And we haven't used any color in here so far. Nope. We're just doing all the dark. And I guess I shouldn't say we do have some of that gray pastel, but as far as any brights or anything like that, we haven't touched on. Not yet. In here, just do more of that those straight lines. So we can even take it as further and just start adding almost these interesting, almost looks kind of organic, these connecting pieces, just going through all of this. Almost like vines or something else, but definitely starts to give it a pretty creepy look. Let's get in here a little bit more. Cuts. in here, maybe it goes in. All right, so definitely creepy looking thing happened here. And as you'll see with my other drawings, definitely a lot of similar techniques I like to use, just going in with the pastel and then reinforcing with the charcoal. Like right here, we're just reinforcing some of those shadows or fading. On this side, there's that high to low straight line fade a little bit, kind of. Then we just sweep that over, starts giving us a little bit more texture. And the beauty of it too is, if we don't like it, we could just come work right over it. Just whether we use our eraser or just blend it further. All right, so yeah, I'm gonna just get a little bit more dimension up in this section. Perhaps there might be some kind of shading back in there. Let's see. Very, very light. Yeah, so definitely a creepy looking thing here. So we could get in with some color if we wanted at this point. A couple options. Um, might just extend in some of these here. Another interesting effect too is you can almost start getting like, maybe there's some bone like and stuff. You know, that's a weird effect too. Just for certain areas, it's like what. Anytime we start doing that, you know, you could then just go over the top, so it gives it a weird, again, like a sinew, more of an organic material. Coming through here. Even what I like to do as well is almost you go with your straight lines, just gives it like it's connecting the seams. Really kind of pushing that through there. Oh yeah, so very, very interesting stuff. Definitely starting to get more creepy. Like I said, check out some of my other videos as well. There's a lot of things similar. Today, I think I'll probably hold on any major color unless it really will make the piece stand out a little bit further. Yeah, so it's definitely starting to take some shape here. And some cuts back in here. So at this point, we could, if we wanted to, we could get some light in there. Let me just see what happens. If I get some very, very light with the white, might start giving it a few areas. Just see how it looks. We don't have to go too much with it. But what this does is kind of gives it that ghostly flow. So you can see we'll just very lightly, we won't use too much, but let's just give it that ghostly feel. And all we're doing here is going over some of our areas and just using the fade. This is just highlighting some of that outside window. Just get very light in there. Just highlight a few areas. Okay, so not too much, and I don't want to overpower that. So I'm just gonna make sure I get back in with the dark. Keep it pretty faint. So maybe in this section we might be able to get just a nice fade there. This section, like I was saying here, it gives us that more of that ghostly vibe. Okay, yeah. In previous drawings, I would kind of go in with a strong yellow. Here, I think for today, I'm just gonna leave this open. I think that's a weirder look, having these big sockets. Just maybe, yeah, leave it something like that. That's definitely a creepy, creepy vibe here. Very light here, very, very light. Don't want to take too much out of that. Here too. All right. Just gonna add some dark in this section. If we can accentuate a little bit. All right, so yeah, we definitely got a lot happening here. See if I can add a little bit more texture on this front region, and I think that might be everything for today. Just gonna add a little bit more in here. Okay, yeah, let's continue out in this section. Staying with, we'll stay with the gray and the black at this point. Perhaps you could add some other colors, but I think for now, we'll hold with these. Fill in some of this section. Dark into more of a light. Okay. A little bit more of that light in there, certain areas. Gonna give us that ghostly look again. Kick over that a little bit. Gives it that cloudy look, you know. What's cool here is you can go over. You can also go under the white. Gives it a cool dimension. Just gonna finish up here, get a little darker, maybe sharper with that turn up there. All right. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate your time today, and if you like this type of these drawings, charcoal, pastel, I invite you to subscribe, of course. Check out my other videos, and of course, if you are drawing, keep drawing, stay creative. It's always, great just getting in the imagination. And thank you so much. I appreciate it. This is Main Art. Take care.